going to use this time to sort of get used to the controls again. Because two different games, they control pretty much the exact opposite of each other. Yeah, I'm not started yet. I'm just kind of de-rusting or getting the, button combinations and stuff ready. Oh, we're ready to go then? Alrighty. The other thing about this game, whenever you just leave the title, when you leave the title screen, it starts the game by itself. Clearly, it wants you to play it, right? Are we not hearing game audio? I'll turn it up a little bit. We are ready to go. Alrighty. Go ahead and reset again, just to reset it. Make sure the game doesn't start by itself. Now, when you do start the game up, you're supposed to go through tool time. It's a long little cutscene, but it explains the story a little bit. We're unfortunately going to skip it because it's long and tedious. So here we go, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to Tool Time. We are running Home Improvement on the Super Nintendo. The point of this game is set up this way. Tim Allen, aka Tim the Toolman Taylor, is about to introduce some new line of tools known as the Tim Taylor Edition by Benford Tools. However, before he's able to bring out these tools to demonstrate them, they are stolen, and left in their place is a little note saying that he should go back to the Stone Age where he belongs. And that is the sort of cue that maybe the tools are on the prehistoric set of another set in the studio, which obviously, they're shooting a movie called Jurassic Park, because obviously that's not the first thing you think of when you're thinking of Home Improvement, is like Tim Allen shooting dinosaurs with nail guns and chainsaws. Speaking of which, chainsaws shooting projectiles. Yeah, I don't know what they were going with this one, but it does happen. The chainsaw is a good weapon to use when you're demolishing like bricks. It's one of the better like destruction weapons that you use. Otherwise, if you use the hammer, you can. Everything's got its little special function. But the chainsaw is probably the best destruction weapon. I'm kind of repeating myself on that one. We're going to ride the jackhammer like a pogo stick. Doesn't really do anything, but it looks pretty cool. The controls in this game are kind of crappy, I would say. I'm going to take the little hit here to make sure I stay on that platform there. Everything besides the special weapon is mapped to the A button and the shoulder buttons, which if you hit the shoulder buttons, it'll go diagonal like it does in Metroid. But the hammer, the jackhammer, and the grapple hook are all mapped to the X button in a different combination. If you want to use the hammer, you hit left and right plus the X button. If you want to use the grapple, you hit just the X button. If you want to use the jackhammer, you hit the X button and down. Now, the only problem I really have with that is when you're using the hammer, because, well, not really the hammer, but you don't use the jackhammer very much, but sometimes when you're using the hammer, you don't have the button pressed. You can use the grapple when you don't want to, and that doesn't really seem to come into problem any, like, specific point, but when you're shooting a grapple hook, you might latch onto something you don't want. Here, I got a power up, and I want to take this hit at a specific moment so I can get it back. The way your damage works in this game, you can see the bolts in the bottom left corner of the screen. One thing I guess I wanted to say before, I'll get back to the bolts in a second, but the high score in this game, you can literally beat the high score in the first level. So clearly, nobody played this game after they made it. The nuts and bolts, those are your sort of like sonic rings, and when you have one and you take damage, you lose that one, and you have to collect them. Anytime you have more than 10, like if you have 11, it'll shoot a bunch of 10 and then just one single one. So your better option is to have like 1 through 9, so you get more chance to get one back. You want to make sure the dinosaur is always shooting flames. But when you have the power up, on the other hand, it shoots up the power up instead of your nuts and bolts. So you can always get it back. So you take hits intentionally and jump up and get it, and you can pretty much take damage anytime you want and have no consequence. The power up has a couple functions. One, it makes you jump higher, and two, as I explained, it makes you sort of invulnerable. And three, you can walk on spikes, acid, whatever like the stage prop is for that specific thing. Like these spikes, it changes from every level. Some of them are flames. I think the spikes are also in like stage 4 or set 4. They all function the same way. The jump it's useful for some parts, and I will hopefully have them for that. It cuts out a lot of time when you have the power up, and you don't want to not have it. And I'm about to use it in the next level, so it's a pretty precise jump. Anytime you finish a level and you had not died at the stage completion, it'll drop that little golden nut there. You want to get that off screen as quickly as possible because it has a little bit of that clutter where it has too many sprites on screen, and it causes a little bit of lag, drop frames, and we know we don't like that in a speed run, so we gotta, excuse me, perfect. So now that I still have the power up here, I don't have to go on these platforms. I can just jump down here and get up here. Oops. So hopefully this bird doesn't come up to the ceiling and clip me through it. I have not gotten very lucky with these lives, but if you're in a speed run, you don't really want to die. But just to be safe, I kind of want to at least have 5. Whenever you grab these crates, that's sort of your checkpoint for this game. Whenever you die, you go back to the crate you collected, and I should probably explain those crates. Those are the little items you're supposed to be looking for in this game. You don't really know what's in them. We never know. We just kind of know that that's what they're looking for. You're looking for 5, and then 6, then 7, and then 8. There are 4 sets total with 5 levels each. And I got the power up here, so I can just jump up to this platform and get this last crate here. There's a couple different types of weapons in this game. So the one I'm going to be probably using the most is the chainsaw or the nail gun. And then the flamethrower if I do have to change my strategy a little bit. But this nail gun is good for the final boss, and that's the only time it's good. So speaking of boss, we are on to set 1-5 already, and our first boss of the game. You are forced to take the nail gun here. So a nice little skip there. Now, I don't know what Tim's doing with this nail gun, but he obviously doesn't know how to shoot it straight because it's got a random pattern to it. So in order to make sure we hit as many shots as we can, we want to be as close to the edge as possible. So we try to maximize our hits. I mean, I do have the power up. I could take some damage if I wanted to, but it's quicker to make the jump and not have to jump up and grab it. And there's this nice little falling animation here that Tim, when he's on the side there. Ugh! Oh no! Oh no! And after every time you complete the entire set, you go back to tool time, you figure out the next clue, and then you're on to the next stage. So for set 2, we are in the sort of Egyptian-themed set of the game. And here I'm going to extinguish some flames using flamethrower, because that's exactly how you take flames out, right? Fight fire with fire. Makes so much sense. I still have the power up, so I'm not going to need to grab any safety bolts or anything. Take these hits intentionally here so I can navigate through with ease. So now, because I'm on set 2, I'm collecting 6 crates. You'll find that for some levels, it doesn't really make much of a difference, especially with the entire set 4. Even though you're collecting like 8 crates, those happen to be some of the like shorter levels of the game. I don't really need that power up right now. It's actually routed to lose it there. I'm going to be collecting another one momentarily, so just got to get there. Since that corridor there was a little too narrow for me to get up and grab it, I grabbed this one to make up for it. Normally, my buddy Jay here would talk about how this fits into the home improvement storyline. I believe he was saying this was in like season 4 of the series, where Tim Allen apparently went to Egypt and started raiding a few tombs and stealing the merchandise. I don't remember exactly how the story went. I'm not like too big on the home improvement, or at least the show, so you might have to ask him about that one. So, to explain like the full usage of the jump power up, I pretty much only have to show you one specific place, and that is this next level here. So when you jump up here, normally you would not make it, but when you have the jump power up, you can cut out about 1.5 minutes of terrible platforming by just getting up there with the jump power up. So yeah, you definitely want to have that for this part. So this crate's going to jump up to me. I don't need to go around there. It's faster just to wait for it, even though it looks a little slower. I don't need to power up my nail gun yet, so I'm going to keep the level 1. You can power up each thing 3 times, and when you power up one gun, and if you happen to be holding a power up when you pick up another one, it'll save that power up. But for most of the run, it's slower. There's another little gimmick for if you have a power up and you also have a fully powered weapon. It'll spawn another bolt, or well, it's a nut. It'll spawn another one, which wastes more time when the end screen for each level happens. Got up there, used the grapple there. So retracing my steps to cut out a little bit of platforming. I want to make sure I don't lose the power up here, which what you want to do with the power up is you don't want to take a hit when you're jumping, because that pretty much means you're not going to get back the power up when you get a hit. When you have fully powered nail gun or like weapon plus the power up, the other bolt appears. It doesn't actually start the end of the level. It waits until you collect that nut, and then it'll start the like stage completion thing and start counting down. So you don't want to have fully powered up Tim Allen going into any of the end of the stages. The hammer has a sort of random pattern to it, but ooh, that little thing there was kind of floating. It almost got me. You want to be like a distance away from platforms. I've actually found that being a little bit away from the wall makes it a little more consistent to hit like the bricks. That it has. So set 3 or 2-3. We have a conveniently placed hard hat here, which we grab, and then we just bust through all these snakes and stuff. Because that's exactly what you were thinking of when you thought, you know, we make a home improvement game. What sort of crazy stuff is Tim Allen going to be destroying? So snakes, dinosaurs, pterodactyls, all from Home Improvement. Like, everybody remembers this, right? Of course, everybody also remembers that in order to get anything done, you need to have more power. Okay, that was terrible. I'm sorry for that one. But you guys get the idea. More power is better, especially in this game. Ooh, I almost lost it there. But I was fortunate to jump up to the platform before the power-up went away. So fortunate for me. But I could definitely take a backup one if it were to happen like that. So here I'm going to take an intentional hit because the little corridor here is not very big and very you kind of need the power up, and it's faster to take these hits than it is to collect the safety one, which is conveniently placed right there. So take those hits. A little thing was hiding there. The jackhammer doesn't actually destroy bricks. Like, the only function that it has is to pogo off of these small enemies, and sometimes like the little fire or like shooting stars at the end of the stage. Not a whole lot you can actually bounce off of with that weapon in particular. Like, you can't bounce off of those scorpions there. You can't bounce off of snakes. I almost jumped up and lost it. Ooh, that was close. So because I have the power up, though, and I'm standing in those flames, they don't hit me. And climb up the pyramid. Completely reenacted from Home Improvement. That's exactly how that show went. And I guess I should mention, again, you get 100 bolts, nuts, you get an extra life. I don't really think it matters all that much, but... So here I'm going to actually level up my nail gun. Because I'm going to need this level 2 nail gun for the boss fight coming up. I found that it could either be the flamethrower or the nail gun. Both are just as good as the other. The nail gun has a little more consistency to it, I think, than the flamethrower. Just because the way the flamethrower works, you can get some dead hits just because the flamethrower it's kind of janky in this game. Not really too consistent. Like, the sprite itself for the flamethrower, if enemies are inside that sprite, you will not hit the enemy. I'm going to take the safety here and not fall down that hole. So destroy these flames with the nail gun. Now, you think that the flamethrower, like touching the part where the flame comes out, that would actually hit enemies. Well, in this game, it doesn't. Oops, I missed a jump there. So the flamethrower ends up being a little unreliable because of that reason. Do not want to lose the power up. It's very important that I have it right now. So sometimes when there's too many enemies on screen, it won't spawn in like some of the level enemies. Like if there's too many of these things in one spot, it won't spawn in another. And you can literally turn around and be blindsided by one that wasn't there. So here I'm taking another intentional hit because I kind of want to keep the power up. So go back out. And now I'm going the reverse way. In the normal strat, like what I started with, I went around and went up this way. But because I found it to be a little bit quicker to go this way instead of going down, it cuts out a lot of like block building. And since I got the nail gun, it's not a very good weapon to destroy blocks with. So it was a much needed change of the strat. Here, instead of having to use a grapple jump, because I got the power up, I can just jump up here. Still got that power up. And we're done with that stage. One thing I dare people to do, I dare you to beat my high score. Because, I mean, clearly the developers didn't want a high score. So there are the enemy, or the boss fight for this one has two forms. Jump through here. Get rid of these flames, because they will fly, or they will like fall down, and they're kind of hard to hit. But because I got the level 2 nail gun, they probably wouldn't be as hard. But usually you want the flamethrower for this fight, just because the flamethrower like has the hit on the enemy at all times. But just because of that one reason, you have to be up close to an enemy to use the flamethrower. It's inconsistent to use it. Like if I was this close with the flamethrower, I would actually be whiffing all of my hits. So the nail gun just kind of ensures that I have a little wide range. Still not being able to shoot straight at all time, but it gets the job a little bit more consistent than having the flamethrower. And trying to hit those flames with the flamethrower while the flames are on the ground is just downright impossible. So you want to get rid of them as quickly as possible. So set 2 is done, and now we are on to set 3, my least favorite part of the entire run. We are in the haunted house set, or horror show. But I do still have that power up. See how long I keep it though. Because I got this power up, I can make this jump up here without using the grapple. Hopefully the spider won't hit me. Still got it. Still got it. Lucky me. Bedsheet Ghost here, well, not my least favorite, but I know Jay has a very fond appreciation of that enemy in this game. It's been ruining a lot of my runs, but the spider, on the other hand, shoots projectiles. The Bedsheet Ghost really doesn't. The Bedsheet Ghost has like its random moments where it pops up. Ooh, that was close. I would not have been able to get my power up back if I had taken that hit from the spider. And those projectiles, even though they look like they're going away, they're not. This puff of smoke will actually kill you. And I still have my power up, so I can jump through this acid here. God, this run has been fantastic so far. I mean, I'm jinxing myself by saying it, but damn, I'm very impressed with this one. Almost lost it there. The other problem with having the power-up, instead of losing, like, when you have, like, multiple power-ups, like, the power-up itself will go away if you don't grab it, but if you have the power-up, you don't lose your upgrade for the weapon, which in case, I'm going to have to bait that spider back. You don't want a leveled-up gun right now, because I'm going to need to, you know, I don't think it matters that much. But you don't want to power up your weapons for that reason I had stated earlier. Take this hit here. Hopefully the spider is going to play nice. Nope, I didn't get it back. That's fine though. There's this conveniently placed hard hat here, which I can grab. If it'll come back, why is it not coming up? Where did it go? Did I actually knock it out and not notice it? That's not good. That's really not good. I did jinx myself by saying it. Oh no! Oh, damn it. That's not good. I did jinx myself by saying it. Okay, well, first death, that's fine. I need some bolts. Bedsheet Ghost is taking a lot of hits. I must have knocked out that hard hat or something because it wasn't there. But normally, if I would actually grab this hard hat the way it was supposed to, I'd jump on this spike ball here, grapple, jump up, and that'd be the end of the stage. So, yeah, rip-a-roni. I'm very, very upset by that. I don't know why. Ugh. But what happens when you die? It resets the timer, and whenever you count down at the end of the stage, it resets the timer. It counts down a little bit more. Damn it. So, upgrade the nail gun again because I needed those bolts. Don't really need the leveled up nail gun anymore. What's fine about that is I would have had to have taken the damage from that spider there, so that power-up would have been lost anyway. So, not a big deal. Just kind of lost about 20 or 30 seconds because I died. So that dynamite that's just sitting there, you do not want it. It is the worst weapon in this entire game. And I think I'd probably dare say it's worse than most other bad weapons in any other game. It's pretty bad. You don't want it. Like, you think your power-up in other games are bad. That one is worse. Every game has those power-ups. You just don't want it. Like, the laser gun in Contra. What other bad power-ups? It's not exactly the poison mushroom from Mario Lost Levels. Oops, these little grapples. I'm using an exit that they placed in case you went down that way, because you're supposed to do a jackhammer through these platforms and not be able to get back up, so they put that there as a way to get back to the start. Yeah, we use that because they conveniently placed a grapple spot to get through there. So here I'm going to have to grab yet another nail gun upgrade, which I'm forced to grab. I'm going to lose it almost instantly though, so no big loss, no big deal. Get up there. Get up there. Now, I've explained a little bit of too much stuff on screen. I believe this is the level that explains it the most. Look at all these, like, bats, spiders, all of which are on screen, causing this game to pretty much slow down to half of its frame rate. Need a little bit of blast processing with this game. I almost think this game might have been on Sega, or might have been planned to be on Sega, but, you know, couldn't get the rights. Need blast processing, more power. Technically, the Super Nintendo was more superior, though. Pretty tough section here. If you don't have any nuts and bolts, it's almost impossible. And I don't really need the level 2 nail gun, but I just keep jumping up out of habit. It's quicker to jump up, get your momentum back. Oh no, I got one back. pretty much you want to instantly go for a nut or a bolt if you're down to nothing. Whoops, forgot about that one. Yeah, I promise you guys I do know this game. I have played it before. I'm just kind of forgetting how to do things. Remember this section of the level, because you're going to see it again in the very next stage. I think this is around the time where they stop running out of resources to make it. I guess I should talk about who developed this game. If you're familiar with, who was it? Imagineering. When the company folded, they became Absolute Entertainment, and so the same people who made most of the Simpsons games on NES made this game. So if you can tell by its quality, assurance, if you know who developed the game, you kind of like already know how it plays. I don't think this game is like very poorly designed. It just has a couple like questionable design choices. Like the bosses are like the worst offender of this game. Like they're not very good. They look like they had some ambition to them, but not really executed properly. Like the snake, for example, the first boss in the game has a very large open area that you can use for a boss fight, and several platforms that remain unused because all you do is just stay in the center like that. Now, this first part of stage, or 3-4, is a little dangerous because there's no bolts here. And if you're not quick enough, you can get sideswiped by this bat and this little knight there, which he almost did get me. But once you get through there, you walk out this way, go out this hidden pathway, and get this hard hat. Destroy the candle. I wanted to destroy the candle, but I didn't. The thing about those candles is that they have a high probability chance of dropping a power-up of some sort. Only problem is we don't really have time to sit around and, you know, try to get whatever power-up it has, because it can be anything. And the only one that really helps you is the power-up itself or maybe a hard hat. But the power-up goes a little more way than the... Whoopsie, that was not good. Oh, that bat was very, very generous with that placement for the bolt there. If you hit that spike ball, you have to go up there instead of going through the acid there, because you sort of have to take a damage boost. Ooh, I almost died there. There is a power-up coming up. I'm going to leave it till I get back here, because this is the most important power-up in the game. It's a setup used for the next stage. And I don't really need it leading up to it. The power-up just kind of makes it a little easier to manage, like boosting damage. See, everybody's seen this little tiled room here. This game had less originality than Fortnite. I guess it would be more originality because it came first. You see a lot of similar rooms in that game as well. Here, I can damage boost through the spider, and normally, as long as he doesn't shoot a projectile, I can grab these nuts, or the nuts up here, and continue to jump up. Hopefully this knight will be generous. He was generous. Grab the crate up here, then fall back down. So now I'm going to go back and grab that power-up. And I want to keep this power-up for the rest of the level and the boss fight. So if I lose this, I'm going to take a death just to get it back. Because the time save in in 4-1 is huge. And you want to have this power-up so you don't have to navigate an extra minute and a minute 20 of an extra section. You don't want to do that. You know, let's take the damage. Better to take that than to lose it. I want to make sure the bedsheet ghost there doesn't snipe me. Go away. I want to make sure I'm in the center here, so I got a way to jump back up. Just take the hit. I don't care. I just want to make sure I don't lose this. Bedsheet ghost is going to be here, but he's at the top portion of the room. Don't want to jump early because there is a bat up there that you can't see. Knight here, jump up, get the power up, and there we go. Completed that stage. Now, we are on to the worst boss fight in this game. There's only 4 of them, but this one is by far the worst one, just because it's a complete waste of time. Like, you wait for the little vampire guy to open his mouth, and that is when you hit him. But sometimes when he warps around the room, he doesn't want to do that. So you just hope that RNG blesses you with a perfect fight, and just sometimes it doesn't happen though. You want to duck whenever he shoots. He will not hit you, but I do have the power up, so if I just stay on this tile, no matter how many times I get hit, I can never lose this fight if I just jump up and grab it. Whoops, I didn't diagonal that one. So, as long as I don't jump, because jumping is how you lose your power-ups. See, we got this entire room designed for this fight, but you never use more than the middle tile. Now, there is a bottomless pit underneath this platform, but you wouldn't know it was there if I didn't tell you about it, I guarantee it. I mean, there is a platform down there, but there is still a way to fall. This is so exciting, isn't it? I hate this fight every single time I get to it. See, there is a platform here, but you can fall. Back to tool time. We got another tool. And then on to the final stage of the entire game. It is set 4, and we are in outer space. Now, I could go for a fool's pogo, is what I call the strat, but if you do it, you lose the power-up because the corridor is a little too narrow for you to jump up and grab it. And I kind of need this power-up to make this level... I almost lost it there. I need this power-up to make the level go a little smoother. So I don't usually go for, it's only like maybe a second save if you get it correctly, but you lose a minute if you mess it up. So I don't think it's worth it to go for it. But what you do is you get the jackhammer out, jump on the shooting star, get caught in between the ceiling and the shooting star, and then it looks cool when you do it, but in a speed run, it's not worth the time save, I think. My cat is meowing because she wants out of my room. I'm going to have to fix that in a second. Here, I'm going to use the hammer to get rid of this eyeball enemy, because instead of taking 5 hits from a chainsaw, it takes 3 from a hammer to get rid of them. Too bad that doesn't actually work anywhere else in the game. So if pretty much every single boss fight were to be easily taken down because of the hammer, I would be using that strat for every single fight, but I think I just because I went through that corridor, I now have to wait for this robot to hit me, because I need a damage boost to get back up there. Now, I could be Heath Ledger and just kind of yell, hit me, come on, I want you to do it. But I'm not very good at reenacting, everybody's great work. He was an excellent Joker. Come on! Oh my goodness, he barely missed me. Come on. There. If I were to wait there for about a minute, then it would not be worth it. Oh shoot, okay. That's not good. That's kind of unfortunate that I got hit there. I wasn't expecting the UFO to come back. But I can definitely go through without it though. And I'm gonna get one back in a next level anyway. Not this level, but in 4-3 I will. Now I just gotta play this one a little safer. I'm gonna have to use more jump, more grapples. So instead, I'm gonna have to go this way. Or bounce off this. Gonna grab this hard hat just because I don't have the power up now. Otherwise, I would ignore it. It's not really worth the time for it. Then conveniently at this area over here, there's another hard hat. Grab that. Now, among all the stages, like obviously set 1 has like the shortest levels in the game, but I usually think that set 4 takes the least amount of time. They seem to go by a lot quicker despite having 8 crates you got to pick up. Now here, since I don't have the power up, I got to use the shooting star down here as a little bounce platform. I want to knock out this platform here, so I have to go down here because I don't have the power up. This jump makes me cringe every time I do it, so I have to jump as you're falling out. Go out the normal way. Pretty scary part coming up right here. Got it. Sweet. I guess it wasn't that bad. We're still gravy though. Doing really well. So set 4-3 has gone through several route changes, but this one that I stuck with has kind of made it a little bit safer. We're going to grab the power up at the bottom of the level, only because I need it for the next stage. And the way I have it routed for this, it just kind of makes it more convenient and a little bit safer. I still got to avoid the spikes a little more. Okay, so the scary part of the level is over with. Once I get that power up, it'll make it a little more manageable. So normally I wouldn't lose it here. So tricky jump, okay. Ooh. So robot, there's a lot of bolts here. So go down here. So here's that power up I'm going to grab for safety. Hopefully I don't bonk on any of these platforms here. Take a hit. I do not want to lose this power up now. I will be using this power up if I manage for the rest of the game. So I don't want to lose it. Here, if I jump early, this eyeball will bonk me, so I want to wait for him. Now I should probably start charging up the nail gun. I will be using the nail gun for the last fight. I'm going to clip through this platform here. If I get the setup right, you go right through. Or not. It looks cool when I do it, though. I guess now, or today ain't going to be the day. Oh, whatever. At least I got the power up still. I thought the nail gun would hit that UFO. So here I need to shoot this little shooting star here. Watch it just dissipate. And that is the end of this level. I got the power up, so that's good. Yeah, stage 4 gives you a lot of time, so the countdowns are a little bit longer than the normal levels of the other ones. So now I still want to be very safe with this power up, because these are small corridors here that you almost have no room to jump up and grab it. So you want to be extra careful here. I am going to start trying to charge up the nail gun though. Take a hit here. Since I don't have a level 3 nail gun here, I've got to get rid of this shooting star and just kind of walk back, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to destroy it all here, and it's going to follow me out of here. Okay, that was better than I thought. Not perfect, but unlike the other one, which it just kind of goes out, this one kind of circles around and then they follow you after about 2 seconds, causing you to have to retreat. It's kind of a shame. This is the part of the game where I get to show you how much the nail gun, I keep calling it staple gun. The nail gun, for some reason, whenever you shoot it, the level 3 nail gun is absurd. It causes so many projectiles on screen, it actually causes the game itself to lag. So you have to use it sparingly in some places. To destroy this eyeball here. Oh, come on. That was pretty pitiful. Oh, it dropped a nail gun! Okay. So magically I end up with a level 3 nail gun anyway. Well, that was kind of fortunate. Wasn't expecting that. I'm talking about the nail gun. You ask, you receive. So this is the level 3 nail gun. As you can see, it shoots its projectiles pretty quickly. Take this hit here intentionally. Well, when I do get hit, try to stay on the ground so we don't lose this power up. I'm still need it. See, look how fast the nail gun shoots. And the reason why I need this level 3 nail gun for the last enemy, or the last boss, is just to ensure, like, frame perfect, like, hit on the enemy. So it causes, like, that, and whenever it shoots the gun, you use, like, anything projectile-based to get rid of bullets and make sure you don't take hits. And what I don't want to do is take hits. It wastes time. See, look at that insane lag that happened because I was shooting the nail gun at that point. So here, it can fall if I bonk. Hopefully I don't do that, but I lost a world record run because I bonked on this little platform here. Okay. That was real good. Good level. Excellent. So here's that extra bolt that appears, or that extra nut that appears when you're fully powered up. Because I got a level 3 nail gun and I got a power up. So I am literally the man of steel at the moment. So on to the last fight. Now, one thing to note about this game, the people who stole these tools definitely went above and beyond to make sure that you don't get them back. That they hired this robot, which has bombs, it has guns, and man, they must really want Tim Allen dead if they're going to go to this absurd length to make sure he dies. Like, you got missiles, you got bombs, you got everything. So the way this fight works, there's sort of 3 forms to it, but it gets weaker as you just start destroying his equipment. So right now he's got a gun, bombs, and missiles, but as you destroy things, he loses all that ability. I'm just going to take the damage just to make sure I stay on the ground. The nail gun also makes it easier to shoot the missiles when they're in the air like that. So right now I destroyed the machine gun, now the bombs are gone. So I'm actually going to take a hit here and lose the power up, just so I can save myself the frames of the into the level. And there we go. I have beaten the game. So time goes when it fades to black after completing the level. And there we go. 48-21. My PB for this game is 47-54. And because I am the one and only runner of this game, that is a world record. So 48-21. I actually got that 47-54 in SNES Superstars 2 years ago. Or was it last? It was last year. Never mind. 2017. I got it last year during this marathon. So a 48-21. That's not too shabby, I think. It's really good. So onto the credits screen. You figure out who is behind the whole entire thing. Of course, it's like, I don't believe it, and then next line. Like, if it's like, I don't believe it, I think that it should have been on the previous screen. So what you figure out from this, the boys and Al were all in on it. They were the ones that stole the tools and forced Tim Allen to go all the TV sets and fight dinosaurs, pterodactyls, robots, snakes, just crazy. Bedsheet ghosts, spiders. They went super far to make sure that he met his demise. Must be trying to collect that insurance, but did not work. Now they're saying they're trying to introduce the tools, but they are going to run out of time and thus end the game. Like, see you next time on Tool Time. Hope you guys enjoyed the run. I had a blast. The game is really fun. I like to say that it's one of the crappy games that I love to play, but as you're about to see, I have more appreciation for this game just because of the next game you are about to see. Oscar, when I pitched this game to SNES Superstars, I requested one specific special instruction, and that it followed this game. And I cannot wait to show you guys why that is. So, going to give them a chance to switch the screen over, and we will get started on that game. And one final game over, instead of saying thank you for playing, and then it goes back to the title screen.